Hello, my name is Christian Dumas, and I'm running to be your next mayor. On March 30th, earlier this year, I was proud to be the first candidate to announce for mayor. 4 days later, Mayor Arthur Vigent announced his retirement. I announced my candidacy without knowing whether Mayor Vigent was running again or who else would potentially join the race. I decided to run because I believe that Marlborough needed new and an experienced leadership. I still believe that today. While we have made significant improvements to the city over the past several years, I believe Marlborough today is at a crossroads. We have dozens of roads in disrepair, a main street in need of revitalization, and a West Side fire station to build. On top of these issues, the next mayor will be tasked with managing an almost $200 million budget, leading 1,500 employees, and negotiating with 15 unions. Marlborough needs a full-time mayor who has the experience to get the job done. Over the last year, I have the honor of talking and listening to thousands of you about our future. I have laid out my plans for that future, which have been available on my website since I announced. One of the top questions I've been asked throughout the campaign is, what sets me apart from the other candidates? My answer? Experience. I've had the privilege of representing Ward 3 on the City Council for the past 6 years. In that time, I have passed 6 city budgets, negotiated several economic development deals, and voted to keep Marlborough's tax rate the lowest in the region each and every year. My experience on the City Council has given me an intimate knowledge of how municipal government operates. In that time, I've also served on the West Side Fire Station Committee for nearly 2 years. As the only current counselor on that committee, I study response time, wheel time, and potential locations, all of which factor into the required state and national standards that we are not currently meeting. We've been promised the West Side Fire Station for over 20 years. In the past few years alone, there have been 2 fires on Brown Street, where I grew up. Coincidentally, both of them affected homes owned by my family. This is an immediate public safety issue, and we do not have any more time to waste. We need a mayor who has the knowledge and background on this issue on day one. 13 years ago, I took a risk and opened a small business here in downtown Marlborough with my family. As a small business owner for over a decade, I've accomplished what no other candidate in this race has done: create jobs, expand the tax base, let employees, and manage the budget. I think it's imperative we keep a small business owner in the mayor's office who knows what it takes to be successful. Marlborough is my home, and it always will be. My family has been in Marlborough for 5 generations. I attended and graduated from Marlborough Public Schools and got my first job scooping ice cream at Trimbetta's. I'm invested in Marlborough and do not plan on going anywhere. The mayor's position is only a 2-year term. We need a mayor who is committed to the job, not someone who's using this position as a stepping stone. I give you my commitment that I am in this for the long haul. On October 10th, you have a big decision to make. Marlborough's future is in your hands. The challenges we face as a city are too big to be left to someone who doesn't possess the proper experience and record to back it up. When I set out on this journey over a year ago, I could never have anticipated the overwhelming support from our community. From knocking on hundreds of doors to attend many community events, it's clear to me that Marlborough's best days are ahead. I invite you to join me by going to christianformayor.com and help me take part in creating Marlborough's future. If you believe that experience and leadership are what we need in the mayor's office, then I ask for your vote in the preliminary election on Tuesday, October 10th, and in the general election on Tuesday, November 7th. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mike Baker, and I'm running for mayor of Marlborough. I wanted to start off telling you a little bit about myself. I grew up on Howland Street right here in Marlborough. I now live on Gibbon Street with my father-in-law, my lovely wife, my son, and my daughter. I grew up in the Marlborough educational system. I went to Bigelow School, the middle school, and Panther Pride, Marlborough High School. I'm not a politician, and I never will be. Politicians will tell you how they're going to make your life easier, what they can do. They'll make you promises that they can't keep. I'm going to tell you what I can do in 2 years, and I'm going to stick to it. The roads. The roads in Marlborough are terrible. We all know this. We've all seen it. How can I fix the roads? Let's look at the roads that are in the worst shape, start there, and pave them the right way. We've all heard that there are state roads. We can't do anything. Well, I will petition the state and get the state to fix the state roads. The West End Fire Station. There's a need for a West End fire station with the growth of Marlborough. It needs to happen. And under my leadership, it will happen. I'm also proposing a moratorium on any new apartment buildings being built from when I start mayor for 2 years. Marlborough is crowded. We've got a lot of people. We've grown immensely in the past couple years. What we need to do is slow down, take a breath, figure it out. We need to make sure we have enough police, fire, DPW workers. We've all seen the sewerage problems and the rat problems. We need to fix that, slow down, make sure we are prepared for what's to come. I also think that Marlborough should buy the parcel of land off of Sassaville Way. I know there is a motion right now to have that for Boston Scientific to sell it. More apartments, they're going to tear down the trees. We just simply cannot have that. The roads will be flooded. We can't have it. Let's slow down the growth. My opponents will say that I don't have a chance. I haven't raised enough money. I can't get the people behind me. But the people that have given me a dime, they're hard workers. They're people like me that struggle. They don't have the money. I'm proud that they believe in me enough to give me $20, $5, anything they've got, because it means a lot to them and it means a lot to me. I know that I can help Marlborough because I love Marlborough and I love the people in it. Thank you very much.
Hello, Marlborough residents. My name is Samantha Perlman. I'm one of your current city councilors at large, and I am running to be your next mayor. I'd like to share a little about myself, my experience, and vision as mayor. Thank you to WMCT-TV for the opportunity to share information about my candidacy. And I especially want to appreciate all of you. Twice you elected me as your city councilor at large. And being elected with the most votes has been humbling and rewarding, so thank you. I hope to continue working together as your next mayor. I am a lifelong resident and graduate of Marlborough Public Schools. Being a Panther taught me about public service and giving back to the community that raised me. I am running for mayor because as a citywide councilor, I have been able to listen, to advocate, to take action on behalf of people and businesses across our community. My professional background is in the nonprofit sector in both civic engagement and voting, where I help pass the state law on civics in all schools. This fall, I will complete my law degree at Boston College Law School. I am also studying urban and environmental policy and planning at Tufts University. This training provides me with unique skills to navigate the challenges facing Marlborough right now. My 2 terms as a citywide councilor have taught me just as much as my degrees. In this role, I listen to people from every ward in the city. Serving on the finance committee throughout my council tenure, I have shaped our budget process firsthand. I have built strong partnerships with our state and federal legislators necessary to secure funding for critical city infrastructure. With these experiences, I am ready to start as your mayor on day 1. I am committed to making city government accessible and transparent, and I've knocked on thousands of doors across our city to hear your concerns and ideas for Marlborough's future. As your mayor, we will tackle affordability, making sure that families can raise their children here and seniors on fixed incomes can afford to stay in their homes and our city. We will ensure that Marlborough's economy continues to thrive while keeping our residential tax rate low. We'll partner with the Marlborough Economic Development Corporation and Marlborough Regional Chamber of Commerce to support our business community. Together, we'll make our downtown a destination for residents and tourists alike, with a public art and downtown plan for walkability that celebrates our history and imagines our future. Together, we will invest in our infrastructure. As your mayor, I'll prioritize building the West Side Fire Station, public safety staffing, as well as long overdue road repairs that impact every neighborhood. and I will hire a city planner so we are thoughtful and strategic about balancing our city's macro and micro needs so Marlborough grows sustainably. As mayor, I will be your climate champion. Together, we will mitigate climate impacts like flooding to protect residents in their homes. We will install solar panels on municipal buildings to reduce energy costs, protect existing open space for future generations, increase our tree canopy to combat rising heat, and guarantee that every neighborhood has easy access to parks. And of course, we will move on the long-awaited dog park. As mayor, I'll be excited to serve as chair of our school committee. Our hardworking staff and the diversity of our district are tremendous strengths. Together, we will guarantee that every student in our public schools has a comprehensive and enriching education. Working alongside our superintendent and school committee, we will address our students' mental health, confront learning loss, and welcome new families. Together, we will decrease class sizes, upgrade our school building capacity, and increase resources for multilingual learners. We will add seats in our universal pre-K program, expanding the hours to support working families. I will be the mayor who puts residents first. Thank you for listening and for giving me the opportunity to serve you as your city councilor. As mayor, I will listen, I will advocate, I will take action, and together, we will foster a community where all of our residents thrive. My name is Samantha Perlman, and I humbly ask for your vote for mayor in the preliminary election on Tuesday, October 10th, and again in the general election on Tuesday, November 7th. Thank you.
Hello to the citizens of Marlborough. My name is Patrick Hogan, and I am campaigning to be your mayor. I wanted to tell you a little bit about myself and my plans for the future of Marlborough. I was born and raised in Marlborough. As a kid, I walked to Mitchell Elementary School. I was a member of the Marlborough Boys Club on Rollins Avenue. I jumped the fence to play ball at Kelleher Field, and I walked to Main Street where I bought my baseball cards at Delaney's and my vinyl records, before they were cool, at City Hall Music. I'm happily married to Rachel Sullivan of the Sully's First Edition Sullivans. You might have heard of them. Rachel and I own a home and just welcomed our first child, a baby girl. She was born in July. I'm running for mayor because I love Marlborough and I want to keep us on the successful path set forth by the prior administration. I'm currently a Marlborough police detective. I started my police career right here, in this very building. I first joined the MPD as a reserve officer in 1990, and then became a full-time dispatcher in 93. In 1996, I became a full-time police patrol officer. Over my 30-plus years of service to Marlborough, I've gained an intimate understanding of how Marlborough lives and breathes. I have seen you on your worst days. I've seen you on your best days. I know the issues that matter to you, I know the priorities, and I hear the concerns of our families, of our seniors, and of our veterans. I share those concerns and I share those priorities. Together we can tackle those challenges and address those concerns. As a police officer and a detective, I'm a problem solver. Together we will identify problems, find common sense solutions, and take appropriate action. If you go to my website, patrickhoganformayor.com, you will find my plans for many of the concerns I have heard on the campaign trail. Plans that contain specific, actionable proposals. Plans that help people and solve problems. Plans for seniors, for downtown, and for the public schools. The Marlborough Public Schools need to be the centerpiece of our community. There's a symbiotic relationship between the quality of the schools and the property values. If the schools are performing well, we all succeed. It leads to an increased demand for housing and more business identifying Marlborough as a viable location to invest. Just this week, the state released the latest MCAS results. Marlborough's scores are a disappointment. As the chairman of the school committee, I will strive to improve those scores and the reputation of the school system. I commit to actively engaging the entire school community in this process. There's no greater resource than our children. We must educate them well to prepare them to become productive adults. I'm also focused on revitalizing Main Street and the downtown district. I've been reaching out to local business leaders, property owners, the Marlborough Economic Development Corporation, and the Marlborough Regional Chamber of Commerce. A cohesive vision is a priority for success. I believe by forging a partnership between City Hall, our Historical Commission, the MEDC, and the MRCC, we can attract exciting new business to downtown. Another focus of mine is investing in our seniors. The most pressing concern raised by our seniors boil down to three primary categories: housing, transportation, expansion of senior center services. I have a plan to address these issues. On my website, you can find my ideas for expanded transportation options and senior center programs, also the potential housing sites like the Sears Anchor Store at the mall and the vacant IC school building. Now, another focus will be integrating the large Latino and Brazilian communities. I've been meeting with community leaders and church groups such as the Centro Cristiano Emmanuel Church. We've been forming a coalition and engaging our immigrant communities. It's the first step into successful integration and assimilation. Recently, there was a mayoral debate. Maybe you saw it. The subject of the campaign finance was brought up. Now, I'm proud to say all my donations have been made from Marlborough or Marlborough-connected residents and business owners. My opponents admitted to accepting donations from outside special interest groups and political action committees. These groups and committees are outside of Marlborough and oftentimes outside of Massachusetts, places such as Washington, D.C., Chicago, California, Wellesley, and Cambridge. Do you want outside special interests influencing local elections? I believe decisions on local elections and local issues should be made in Marlborough. I urge you to do your own research. Visit the website for the Office of Campaign Finance. Check that out for yourself. I would also encourage you to research the city council records of my opponents. They have a history of abstaining from critical votes and failing to take action on important city business. Individually, they have no accomplishments and no experience. You can find some of that information on the city website. Now, I'm going to leave you with a little bit of history. It's appropriate that I'm doing this here at 91 Main Street, the original Marlborough police station. I will not be the first police officer to become mayor of Marlborough. The Honorable Q-Son J. Haddad first began his service to Marlborough as a police officer. Mr. Haddad was one of the best mayors in the history of Marlborough. With your trust and assistance, I hope to follow that same path. In conclusion, I humbly ask for your vote. I will work hard to make Marlborough a safe, inclusive, and prosperous place for all that choose to call Marlborough home. I thank you.
Hi, my name is Scott King, and I am honored to stand before you as the candidate for Councilor at Large in the great city of Marlborough. Marlborough is not just my home, it's a part of me and my family. I was born at Marlborough Hospital and have been a proud resident here my entire life. I walked the halls of Marlborough Public Schools and earned my associate's degree in criminal justice. My roots in this city run deep. Family has always been central to my life. I've been married to my incredible wife, Kristen, for 31 years. Together, we've raised 2 daughters who attended Marlborough Public Schools. Now, we're blessed to watch our granddaughter grow up here, attending those same schools. Our commitment to this city is not just political, it's personal. We're homeowners here, our family and friends reside here, and I have had the pleasure of protecting and serving the Marlborough community as a Marlborough police officer for 16 years. I am also a proud Army veteran, having served in Iraq in 2004 and 2005. Following my military service, I embarked on a career in real estate, working alongside Ernie Hood for 17 years. But it was my calling to protect and serve that led me to become a police officer for the City of Marlborough Police Department in 2007. During my time on the force, I experienced the full spectrum of police work, from becoming a rape aggression defense instructor for women to patrolling the streets as a motorcycle officer. I also served as a squad leader for the Junior Police Academy. For the last 4 years of my career, I had had the privilege of being the school resource officer for Assabet Valley High School. My commitment to this community was acknowledged when I was inducted into the Hall of Achievement at Assabet Valley High School upon retirement. I like to say I finally graduated. My journey to become a counselor at large stems from my deep desire to continue serving the city I love. I've seen Marlborough evolve, and I want to ensure its growth benefits all residents. My core values of loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and personal courage are the foundation upon which I approach this new endeavor. I firmly believe that accountability and communication are the keys to success. I've had the privilege of listening to our community's concerns, the condition of our roads, traffic, congestion, city growth, the need for a new fire station, staff shortages across city departments, homelessness, and the ongoing drug issues have been brought to my attention. While I may not have all the answers, I am committed to working tirelessly to find solutions. I pledge to engage in open and honest dialogues with you, the residents, my fellow councilors, and city employees. Together, we can explore new avenues to address our challenges. If you're looking for a counselor at large who will listen, but also investigate, follow up, and advocate for your concerns, I ask for your support on November 7th. Visit my website at www.kingatlarge.com to learn more about my campaign and how we can make a difference together. Thank you for your time. and let's work together to make Marlborough an even better place to call home.
Hello, my name is Michael Ossing, and I'm running for one of the 4 Councilor-at-Large seats. I'm currently serving my 12th term as your Councilor-at-Large. I'm running because I believe my experience, education, and passion for a government that solves problems will ensure that Marlborough plans for and prospers in the future. I'm 64 years old and have lived in Marlborough for 62 years. I have been married to my lovely wife, Linda, for 33 years. We have 2 wonderful children, Kaylin, age 32, and Cameron, age 31. I graduated from the Marlborough Public School System and received my Bachelor of Science degree in Nuclear Engineering from the University of Lowell. I am retired after being employed at the Seabrook Station Nuclear Power Plant for over 35 years. At Seabrook Station, I held various engineering, project management, and leadership positions, including licensing manager and engineering programs manager. I am an engineer by profession. I've been solving problems in the workplace for over 40 years, problems involving local, state, and federal people. I will continue to apply the problem-solving skills that I have developed in the private sector to my work as your Councilor-at-Large. During my 12 terms as your Councilor-at-Large, I have served on numerous committees. My passion and more significant contributions have been as chair of the Finance Committee and most recently, president of your City Council for the last 4 years. In the leadership positions I have held on the Council, we have successfully accomplished the following. The tax rate in Marlborough has declined in each of the last 4 years and is lower than any of the surrounding towns. The average tax adjustment of less than 2.6% for the average house over the last 10 years is lower than the surrounding towns, and our city provides more services. Increased our stabilization account to over $22 million. This is commonly referred to as the rainy day fund and positions the city to plan financial transactions and minimizes the impact on the tax rate. Coordinated the approval of grants for improvements at the Stevens Park, Galone Park, including the new hockey rink, Memorial Beach, Ward Park, and the Senior Center. This improves the quality of life for both the young and not so young residents of Marlborough. I was appointed chair of the Municipal Aggregation Committee and have successfully saved Marlborough residential electricity users over $17 million since November 2019. During this previous last 6-month winter period, the average homeowner using 600 kilowatts of electricity saved over $147 a month, or over $880 during the winter season. That is money in your pocket. These accomplishments demonstrate my commitment to you, the taxpayers, that I treat every request to spend your money seriously. The councilors you elect will be spending your hard-earned money. What you need to decide is which Councilor-at-Large do you trust with your money. Issues that I'm interested in pursuing as your Councilor-at-Large include fiscal responsibility, working to ensure the residents of Marlborough get the most for their tax dollar. Work towards a steady, stable, and predictable yearly tax adjustments. Ensuring public safety positions are staffed to support the needs of Marlborough and its residents. Continuing to expand the city's green footprint. Continually challenging the mayor and the department heads to find innovative ways to improve city services that will reduce your tax burden. Ensuring the finances are in place to fund the library renovation and the fire station on the west side of the city. Revise the zoning for the Donald Lynch Boulevard area to ensure it is a healthy economic engine for the city. And ensure the Lincoln Mechanic Street lot is developed with a mixed-use project the city will be proud of. I'm a firm believer that if you have a vision of what the future holds, you can make it happen. I may not know how we will get there, but I believe we have the people and the talent that can make it happen. In closing, I offer the citizens of Marlborough a council that is independent. I've accepted no money from individuals or special interest groups. I've used my money to run the campaign, not yours. Your money belongs in your pocket. This enables me to focus my energies on what is in the best interest of the city and not returning political favors or debts. I will bring energy, effort, and enthusiasm combined with leadership skills and experience to your city council. You have the unique opportunity on November 7th to select the team that will be representing the city. I want to be on that team. Please vote for Michael Ossing, Counselor at Large on November 7th. Thank you for listening.
Hello, my name is Mark Oram, and I'm running for City Councilor at Large. First and foremost, I would like to thank the staff at WMCT-TV for allowing me this opportunity to provide my candidate profile. I would also like to thank the voters of our great city for allowing me to serve as one of your city councilors at large, and previously as the Ward 6 City Councilor. The experience I have gained both in my opportunity to be a local ward councilor and an at-large councilor, and my background in the environmental and public health fields have allowed me to offer representation for the many needs of our city. I've resided in Marlborough for most of my life and appreciate the many assets our city offers to our residents and businesses. I was educated in the Marlborough school system and continued my education at Framingham State College, now University, receiving a Bachelor's of Science. I continued on with my higher education, pursuing a Master's in Public Health from Boston University. I have also taken courses that have allowed me to teach science in the secondary school level. And also, being a government leader requires continuing education. I have taken courses in public administration and leadership. Our family has resided in the Fort Meadow neighborhood, another beautiful resource in Marlborough, and our children, now adults, were all able to seek higher education after going through the Marlborough public school system. Our public schools have terrific advantages when it comes to programs for students to excel. Our schools are one of our most important assets within our city. As a long-term member of the Marlborough Rotary Club, I am able to participate in many events and support community needs. I am grateful to be part of this organization that has taken on challenges to end polio worldwide and many local needs, including homeless women and food insecurity needs. As a Rotarian, we provide resources to the needy, improve our local resources, and provide scholarships for our students, to name a few. The reopening of the library is days away, and I am excited for our community to have this very important asset. The renovated library will offer a variety of services, and I hope you visit our library once it reopens to view and experience the many opportunities it will provide. I continue to be committed to managing the many needed services for our community members with a careful watch on our income received and annual budget request. I will continue to be watchful on our budget, and I will continue to suggest ways to save the income that we receive by carefully appropriating these monetary resources. I've also been on the City Council Finance Committee for several years and work with the mayor and our city councils in keeping a careful watch on our finances and annual budget. The growth of Marlborough needs to be carefully voted by the City Council. I will continue to promote appropriate growth and consider the various needs of increased growth. I take into consideration the impact on proposed developments cause on the impact, including the environment to our neighborhoods, where developments are being considered, including other issues such as traffic, parking, and additional city service needs for any proposed development. I have supported the need for a city planner, and this position will provide a professional assistant with development reviews and the future planning of Marlborough. Serving as one of your city councilors at large is a privilege, and my voting record shows my concerns and support for our educational resources, elderly services, and safety needs. I have and will bear my allegiance to our community members who have entrusted me in serving on their behalf. As your city councilor at large, I will offer my experience and professional background in public health, administration, and leadership when making decisions for our community. My voting record shows that I support our community members first and will continue to look out for our community members' best interest. I request your vote to allow me the privilege to continue to be one of your city councilors at large. Please cast one of your votes for Mark Oram for City Councilor at Large on Tuesday, November 7th. Thank you very much.
I would like to thank WMCT-TV for this opportunity to speak to the residents of Marlborough as we prepare for the city's biennial election on Tuesday, November 7th. Today, I'd like to talk about change. Anyone who has spent any time at all in Marlborough over the last 2 years knows that our city is changing rapidly in many ways. Physically, demographically, socially, and economically. My husband, children, and I have lived in this city for over 30 years. I have been proud to serve as an elected city official for over 25 of those years. Obviously, there have been many changes over those years, but this year, change seems especially kaleidoscopic. Our city is more vibrantly diverse than ever. We see a myriad of new businesses popping up alongside the mainstays of Marlborough's business community. Construction seems to be going on everywhere you look. Yes, it is frustrating to sit in traffic on Route 20, but the results of a reconfigured road with sidewalks on both sides will be worth the aggravation. Our public library renovation is almost complete, with an opening coming very soon. This will give Marlborough residents a beautiful hub to connect with all forms of modern information. Construction has started on the mixed-use project at Mechanic Street and Lincoln Street, which will revitalize a long vacant piece of property, provide more parking and an amenity building for the Assabet River Rail Trail, and provide funds to pave the city-owned lot near Kelleher Field. We are seeing many new faces seeking office this year. This is wonderful, especially the fact that so many young people are actively engaging in the political process. Their voices are essential, and we should welcome their engagement and enthusiasm. Our job as elected officials is to manage change in a way that preserves the things that make our city one of the best places to live in Massachusetts. I have always been proud of the skills and experience I bring to this task, especially in the area of economic development. The City Council collaborates with the mayor and the finance team of the auditor and the treasurer as we set financial policies and practices for the city. I have been chair of the Urban Affairs Committee since 2020, evaluating projects presented to the council for special permits, considering proposals from developers to create overlays, and developing new zoning districts in the city. May not sound like the most exciting stuff, but it is critical to getting the most value from an ever-increasing city budget while maintaining one of the lowest tax rates of the surrounding communities and continuing to hold a AAA bond rating. The author, John Maxwell, is known for his quote, "Change is inevitable, growth is optional." One interpretation of this quote is when circumstances change in unexpected ways, we need to react with conviction and an open mind to grow in the new situation. But we can also see it as a recipe for making sure the inevitable changes are done with direction and purpose so that healthy growth is a natural outcome of those changes. We can't predict all the things that might change, but we can certainly prepare for most of them. Over the last 12 years as your at-large city councilor, I believe I have demonstrated a real commitment to providing this direction and purpose. Helping our city move forward in a way that fosters a safe and vibrant community where we all can grow is one of the most rewarding achievements I have been a part of. I hope you will join me in continuing this endeavor. Please vote for Kathleen Roby, candidate for Councilor at Large, on Tuesday, November 7th. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Sean Navin, and I'm running for Councilor at Large in November. I'm a lifelong Marlborough resident and graduate of our public schools, and for the past 4 years, I've had the privilege of serving as the Ward 6 City Councilor. My wife Jessica and I live on Bolton Street with our son Giovanni. We're excited to be raising our family in the community where we grew up, a city we love full of wonderful people, rich history, and tremendous potential. 4 years ago, I ran for City Council for 2 reasons: to serve my community and because I've always believed that local government is the place where you can make the greatest impact on people's everyday lives. With almost 20 years of professional public sector experience across all levels of government, I go to work every day trying to make government more responsive and responsible. During my time on the council, I've worked hard to address issues that our neighbors and I feel are critical to our city's success. As councilor at large, I will continue to work for you on the issues that affect us every day. The following are just some of the areas I believe we need to continue to focus on. Making strategic investments in our aging infrastructure. Spending money on infrastructure isn't exciting, and let's be honest, road construction projects can be a disruptive headache. But our roads, water and sewer pipes, and technology infrastructure are the backbone of our community. Often unseen, this infrastructure is a critical piece to our everyday lives, and when it breaks down, the results can be catastrophic. We must ensure our schools have the necessary resources to support students in their education. The success of our public schools is not just key to our success as a community, it's personal to each and every one of us. As the son of an educator, a proud graduate of Marlborough Public Schools, and the parent of a young child who's just a few years away from kindergarten, I understand the value of a quality public education. Marlborough's future leaders are in our schools today, and they deserve every opportunity to succeed. We must support our public safety departments with the necessary resources to protect our community, including the construction of a new West Side fire station. Our police and fire departments are made up of dedicated public servants who put their lives on the line every day to keep our community safe. Working to make sure they have the staffing, equipment, and facilities to do this work not only shows them the support they deserve, but it makes our community safer and stronger. Central to this commitment is the construction of a new fire station on the west side of Marlborough. I fully support this project, but remain determined to ensure that the impacts to the neighboring residents are considered and mitigated as much as possible. We must advocate for responsible economic development policies that balance benefits with impacts on our community. Marlborough's enjoyed a period of sustained economic growth, which has allowed the city to keep tax increases steady and predictable without decreasing public services. This is important, and it didn't happen by accident. It took a lot of work from many dedicated people across the public and private sectors to foster this climate for growth. I'm in favor of responsible economic development policies. I say it all the time and it sounds good, but what does it mean? To me, it means creating a partnership between our city and the developers and businesses who want to invest here. I call it a partnership because in order for it to succeed, both sides need to benefit. This means that I make a decision to support a project when it benefits our residents first and also incentivizes businesses to invest here. However, it also means voting against proposals that would disproportionately benefit private industry at the expense of our city and its residents. During my time on the council, I voted in favor of development projects that will help revitalize parts of our city and for incentives that have brought large companies and their employees here because they will benefit our residents in many different ways. I've also voted against projects that I believe would strain our valuable resources, including schools and infrastructure. As councilor at large, I will continue to prioritize responsible economic development on behalf of all Marlborough residents so that we continue to build the community we want to have. We should expand services and opportunities for our seniors that have spent years helping to build our community. They deserve to be able to continue to live here with support and services that will help them enjoy life to the fullest. This includes expanding successful programs at the Senior Center and the Property Tax Work-Off Program. We must continue to provide our veterans and their families with access to critical resources, support, and services. Marlborough's Veteran Services Office works diligently to help veterans access the local, state, and federal benefits that they've earned. Additionally, they've worked to build a valuable public outreach program, increasing engagement from the veteran community. As chair of the Veteran Services Committee, I'm proud to serve as the liaison between the City Council and the Marlborough Veterans Council to support these efforts. We should protect our open space, enhance environmental stewardship, and invest in our recreational assets. Marlborough is home to so many wonderful parks, trails, beaches, fields, courts, and preserved open space areas. Residents and visitors are able to enjoy these assets because our city has prioritized the importance of such investments. As a growing city, we must continue to protect open space, invest in our existing assets, and build new amenities where possible. These are just some of the priorities I believe we should be focusing on, but I'd like to hear yours. If you'd like to reach out and share them, please contact me directly via email at seanfrommarlborough@gmail.com or call me at 508-251-9788. Thanks for taking the time to listen to these videos and learn more about the candidates running to represent you. I respectfully ask for your vote for Councilor at Large on Election Day, November 7th. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Mark Vital, and I'd like to first of all thank WMCT-TV for allowing me the opportunity to talk with you tonight. As I said, my name is Mark Vital. I was born here at Marlborough Hospital, grew up in town at Marlborough, graduate of Marlborough High, and love Marlborough High. I've always loved it. In fact, someone once coined that I bleed orange and black. Graduated from Marlborough High, got an ROTC scholarship, a 4-year scholarship. I was lucky enough to get that and went to Clark University and got my bachelor's degree. As soon as I graduated, I had to go off into the United States Army. It was a great experience. I was fortunate enough to get the Corps of Engineers, and after 4 years, I was a first lieutenant. Soon thereafter, I married my wife, and we had 2 sons, Bill and Brian. Hey guys. And when I got out of the Army, I went into human resources, and I was in human resources in both Inc. and Fortune 500 companies. I was there for 15 years and got my MBA while in there. Started teaching at Northeastern University, just about every business class. And on or around that time, I founded the Highland City Striders. I think about 23 years ago we started, and today the club is over 300 people. My last HR job allowed me the opportunity to change careers. I didn't want to be in HR anymore, and it also allowed me the opportunity to adopt my daughter, Dorina, from Romania. She's an angel that's been sent to me, and I can't be any fortunate to have her. Started working at Marlborough High School as a teacher and a coach, and I worked there for 7 years. Pretty successful coach, won 2 district titles as a girls track team. And while there, I got another degree. I love going to school. I'm a student of life. Got a master's in education and instructional technology from Framingham University. Because of circumstances, started teaching and coaching over at the Advanced Math and Science Academy on the other side of town. Love it there. Been pretty fortunate to have some pretty amazing kids, both in my classroom and on my teams. And while over there, I founded this nonprofit called Sweats for Vets that provides Boston team hoodies for homeless veterans all around New England. And in fact, it's been expanded to New York, into North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Michigan. And every year it grows. It's a very successful nonprofit that helps out our homeless vets, and they deserve our assistance. While at AMSA, I got promoted to the community outreach manager position, and in this position, I get a chance to work out in the community, both providing services, talking with corporate partners, and during that time in the community outreach manager, I founded the Marlborough STEM Council. I grew up in Marlborough, as I said, and it would always dumbfound me how nothing ever got done between Marlborough and Assabet, Marlborough High School and Assabet. Assabet's been here 50 years now. This year they're celebrating their anniversary. And I wanted to get them working together so that, that we could come up with ideas that benefited all students of Marlborough, not just one school over the other. So I created this Marlborough STEM Council, and we get together every month, and we put together structured activities that help our students learn from each other and learn from each individual school. And it's the way education is supposed to be, in my opinion. And we're starting to do more and more of that here in Marlborough. As far as community service, I've been involved in the community in a lot of ways. I wore my Marlborough Recreation Department shirt today. I've been a commissioner down at the Marlborough Recreation Department for a long time. We've had some pretty amazing improvements here in the town as far as the splash pads and the hockey rinks and the new fields at the high school. I mean, the Recreation Department's done a great job. As well as I've been on the I've been on the Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors Executive Committee for the last few years. And I'm most proud about being the president of the Marlborough Rotary Club over the last year. And during that capacity, I learned an awful lot about homeless women. And unfortunately, we have too many homeless women here in town. I think we're starting to hear about it through the media, but it's been around for a long time. In fact, I had 2 students of mine from Marlborough High contact me saying they were homeless. And that's what really opened my eyes. We need to do a better job here in town about taking care of our homeless women. There are 2 other ideas that I want to just throw out at you right now. One is I will work with both state and local officials to turn that mess called Route 20 East into a road that we can be proud of. I'm going to do everything I can to do that. And then lastly, I want to get a vision statement for the city of Marlborough. Thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity to talk with you. Take care.
Hi, I'm Dave Doucette. I'm the Ward 2 Councilor, and I'm running for re-election. This is my 5th time running, and the 5th time I've done a campaign speech like this. Now, I have experience doing lots of technology and business presentations, so I wanted to make this presentation different. If I did it as a speech, it would come from the head, where the words are crafted. This one, I want to come from the heart, which you really can't do on a script. So first, I want to thank the people of Ward 2 who supported me in the early elections. It's been a true honor and privilege to represent you folks on the council. And the best compliment I ever heard from a voter is he likes the way I think. Now, I'm available to anyone in Ward 2 that needs assistance working with the city. I started working in Marlborough at Digital Equipment Corporation in 1987 as a software engineer. My wife and I moved into Marlborough in 1992. I've been married for 34 years. I have 2 daughters, 2 grandchildren, and 1 more on the way. My grandson is studying first grade at the Kane School, where my daughter attended. Now, I got a Bachelor's of Science from Northeastern University, an MBA from Clark, and after 30 years in high tech, I got a job at the local Home Depot. I've been there for about 8 years. A lot of people know me as Dave from Flooring. Now, my engineering and business background provides an understanding and perspective that's really needed on the council. Now, some political candidates complain about the cost of everything without understanding the value of anything. Now, elected officials need to advance society in this city through the long arc of history, and that takes investments in the future. And I'm a geek that understands technology, business, and local government now. And I'm always learning how all that impacts local citizens and small businesses. And I'm not afraid to ask questions during public hearing or council meetings to clarify an issue. I figure if I don't understand, someone out there might not understand it either. And we are now, unfortunately, in a age of dramatic climate change. When I was in grade school in the 60s, we'd have snow days in December. Now December is monsoon season. Unanticipated floods are happening throughout the city, even with blue skies, like on Farm Road or Phelps Street or other parts around the city. And I was an advocate to address climate change before I was on the council. I've always been promoting green technology and green energy, and I believe that those investments to reduce carbon footprint have a payback, because green is about reducing emissions and saving money. And that's been demonstrated with the city with the success of our electric car fleet and the use of solar panels in our schools. Those projects were initiated under my watch. And the more renewable energy we capture within the city, the less is imported into our community, and that energy may come from unstable parts of the world. So more needs to be done. Specifically, I think geothermal has a lot of potential for long-term heating and cooling savings of municipal buildings, which would save us a lot of money. And we should be proud on how our city works. There is no divisive conflict between elected officials. We all work together to benefit our city, our citizens, and our businesses. And I try to avoid political labels. I'd rather see people speak their own mind. And the result is some Republicans may call me liberal, some Democrats will call me conservative, but I'm a progressive. I believe in facts, I believe in science and education, and the best education when the student works on it. And I believe that education doesn't end in high school. I also believe in acting on your own beliefs, not just talking the talk. I walk the walk. Well, actually bike the e-bike, because I have an e-bike that I go around town, and it's a lot of fun, especially up and down those hills in downtown. Now, if you want to learn more about me, go to DoucetteForMarlborough.org. That's with the number 4. Wave me down if you catch me on my bike canvassing. But here's the thing. Democracy is not a spectator sport. You need to get out to vote. Get all your friends and neighbors to vote too. Not only in the November 9th election, but also the primary on October 10th, because every vote counts. Voter turnout in the 2020 election was 79%. Voter turnout in the 2022 election was 53%. But voter turnout in the municipal election in 2021 was 25%. And primary elections have less of a turnout. The result is that a municipal election could be decided by a few dozen votes. And if you can't make it to the polls, vote early in City Hall or get a mail-in absentee ballot. Make sure your voice is heard and your ballot is included in the count, because your vote can make a difference. Democracy wins when more people vote. Thank you, especially the voters of Ward 2 in Marlborough, Massachusetts, the greatest small city in the world. Thank you, goodbye, and take care.
Hi, I'm James Jumanville, and I live at 232 Phelps Street, and I'm running for councilor of Ward 2 here in the city of Marlborough. My 6 basic points for running is 100% constituent service, help and care for our seniors, maintain the quality education and maintenance of our schools, the West Side Fire Station, prioritizing our tax expenditures, and maintain and fix our failing roads in the city. I'm also running because of my grandson, who is at Kane School as a kindergartner this year, that the national debt is $250,000 on his shoulders right now and counting for all of our kids. I mean, that's totally unacceptable. And I'm concerned with our seniors that I see out and about getting extra jobs because they can't make ends meet on their retirement because of what's going on. I would like to address these issues for Ward 2 and for the city as a whole going forward. I'm also running because I'm concerned on how we're doing our expenditures. I saw we spent $2 million for a rail trail around the lake at Whitcomb. We could have done that. That money should have gone toward water infrastructure or the roads. We could have done that with the Eagle Scouts building it for a badge and engineering done by students for a grade down at Worcester Polytechnic Institute in Worcester. The other expenditure was the hockey rink for $500,000. This city is known for sports. You think of Marlborough, you think of the Marlborough Shamrocks that have been here forever. They're the #1 semi-pro team in New England, probably this side of the Mississippi. We could have done that with a GoFundMe page and asking for businesses to help out. Got that done in a weekend. Also with the $150,000 dog park. We could have done that with a GoFundMe page. Everywhere you go in the city, people love animals. They're out walking with them, being with them. That could have been done with a GoFundMe page. All that money that was with that grant should have been used for city infrastructure. Those are the type of things I'm concerned about. Those are the type of things I'll be concerned with when I'm elected. The biggest bang for the buck. If I'm going to spend $100 of your money, I'm going to get you $200 worth. Also, constituent service. I will come to you. You don't have to come to me. Any concern of yours, just call me or email me. I'll be there to deal with things for you. What you can do is you can contact me. Just Google me on Facebook. I have a thing on there. Or you can get a hold of me by my email address, jjumo1957@gmail.com, or my phone number, 774-364-2663. So I respectfully ask, it's time for change. Vote for James Jumonville, Ward 2 Councilor, November 7th at the Kane Elementary School. Voting hours are from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Remember, it's your seat, not mine. I represent the people of the ward. That's the way I look at politics. So please get out and vote. I want the whole city to get out to vote. We have a big mayor election. We have councilor elections. I want everybody to go out to vote because nothing concerns your lives, your tax expenditures, more than what happens or doesn't happen at City Hall. Thank you for your consideration, and God bless.
Fellow residents of Marlborough, my name is Robert Preciado, and it is an honor to stand before you today as a proud member of this community. I've had the privilege of calling Marlborough my home for the past 6 years, and during this time, I have grown to love and cherish this city. Marlborough is a vibrant city, rich with diverse cultures and backgrounds, and I'm proud to say that our city embraces this diversity and draws strength from it. Marlborough has allowed me the opportunity to build community through volunteer efforts, such as assisting in distributing food at the Marlborough Food Pantry. As a member of One Marlborough, I've collaborated with my neighbors to create positive community gatherings and events. With Marlborough Makers, I have run several community art activities around the city. Continuing my commitment to this community, I am running to be your next Ward 3 councilor, and I'm here to ask for your support. I hope to share my vision as a candidate who is passionate about supporting a thriving local economy, as well as protecting our environment. Previously, I worked as an engineer where I led various teams traveling the country, doing fieldwork in remote and urban areas. Currently, I work locally as a machinist, serving some of the most innovative and newly emerging industries in Massachusetts. Through these experiences, I have come to understand the critical role that industry plays in our community. I also recognize the responsibility we bear to protect our environment. We must strike a balance between growth and sustainability. As we grow, we must do so with foresight, taking into account our current infrastructure, amenities, and adequate parking. This isn't just about progress. It's about smart and responsible progress. As your representative, I will champion initiatives that promote both a cleaner environment and working industry to ensure our beautiful city remains a thriving place for generations to come. As councilor, I will strive to increase civic engagement across various age groups and backgrounds, from our senior homes to our public schools. I will also work to make government more transparent and accessible to all residents. By inviting everyone to work together as a team, we can build stronger bridges that unite us all for a brighter future. As a husband and a new father, I understand the importance of family. I've learned firsthand the joys and challenges that come with these roles. Our families are the backbone of Marlborough, and I am committed to creating a place where every family can thrive. With your support, we can build a brighter tomorrow for our city. Thank you, gracias, obrigado.
Hi, my name's Thomas Dalton. I was born and raised in Massachusetts. I've always been passionate about community, doing my best to follow my time into food banks and helping the needed parts of my community where I saw fit of my time and energy. When I am elected by the people as ward councilor, I will focus my efforts on schools and the elderly and creating more community projects. I will work tirelessly with the disadvantage of society. I will also strive to get more young people active in government positions. As we have a younger generation that has more open hearts but less activity and faith in government. That means starting small and getting active, following our passions. Thank you so much for considering me as your future leader of the city of Marlborough.
Hi, my name's Tiona Brown, and I'm the current Ward 4 counselor here in the city of Marlborough. I really want to thank the residents of Ward 4 for giving me the opportunity to represent them in this current term, and I really hope that I will be able to continue to do so in the next term. I really enjoy this role, and from what I've learned from it, it's the customer service aspect that I really enjoy. I feel that you as the taxpayers are the city's customers, and I really welcome you to reach out to me via email, via phone, and ask any questions that you have, or if you're having trouble making a connection to a department. These are the things that I really enjoy doing, and a service that I want to continue to bring to the residents of Ward 4. My favorite story from the last couple of years, it might seem small, but for me, it's an example of how government can really work on a local level, is I had a resident reach out to me and say that her 2 young grandsons enjoy the Korean Veterans Park, and the basketball hoops are just too tall for them. And so she was just wondering if there was any chance that the city might be willing to install any shorter hoops. So I sent an email on her behalf, and the mayor and Chuck over at the rec department went out, they looked at it, and now there are those basketball hoops there. And if it hadn't been for that resident reaching out to me and just asking, they wouldn't be there. So I just want to ask that everybody else, if you have any questions, concerns, or just a random request like that, please don't hesitate to reach out. And again, I just would love to ask for your vote in the current election. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Albert Ficillo, but my neighbors call me Trey. I'm running for City Council in Ward 6 because I love our community, and Ward 6 certainly has a lot to love. But what I cherish most is its people. From a young age, my parents taught me the importance of helping our neighbors. So on snowy mornings, I'd grab a shovel, head across the street, and clear out the driveway of our elderly neighbors. And doing that taught me an important lesson about our community, but it also taught me an important lesson about Marlborough. You see, I was rarely the only one up early shoveling snow. By the time I'd finished the first driveway, there would be several neighbors ready to help out and even clear the driveway of a firefighter who lived down the street. And when I'd finally get home, I'd often find that another neighbor had already shoveled my driveway before going to work. That's the kind of caring and support that defines Marlborough, and that's why I'm running for City Council. I'm running to support all of our folks who make our community great, but to do that, I'm going to need your help. We face a number of challenges that put our city and our way of life at risk. We're facing an affordability crisis, a lack of attention given to our schools and city services, and all the while, outside developers are setting their sights here so they can buy up our city and line their pockets. These developers don't have our best interests at heart. They know how vulnerable we are. That's because there's a state law that requires cities to keep their affordable housing stock above 10%. And any city that drops below that loses the right to enforce its zoning codes. Unfortunately, we are scarily close to that threshold. That's why I'll work to make sure we never get that low. I'll support the expansion of affordable housing in a way that uplifts our community and supports our most vulnerable residents. I'll also fight those developers who could damage our community. Instead, I'll support sustainable growth, only voting for the projects that preserve the beauty of our outdoors and the character of our community. But most importantly, I'll listen to you. We know what's best for Marlborough, so I won't make any decision that doesn't reflect our community's values. As I've talked to neighbors across Ward 6, I've heard these values, and I've realized how much we all have in common. We all want to help our neighbors, we all want to keep our community safe, and we all want to live in a city where families and businesses can grow and thrive. And since I started talking to voters back in May, I've heard how passionate our ward is about these values. One person who stands out is a teacher I met at the Labor Day parade. As I was jogging to catch up with my campaign float, this teacher began to run alongside me. She said she needed to talk to me and tell me about her classroom, about how it's overcrowded, underfunded, and that there are too many classrooms like hers in our school district. I was struck by how much she cared, that she would run alongside me just to tell me that she needed the help of a leader. I was impressed, but I wasn't surprised. There are devoted teachers like her across Marlborough and across Ward 6, and they all need our help. As more students come to our district, we need to maintain the quality of our education. On the day it opened, the Goodnow Brothers Elementary School was already at full capacity. Just this past month, cafeteria spaces were being converted to classrooms at Whitcomb Middle School. Our students deserve the best we can offer. So for the teacher who ran with me on Labor Day, and for all the other teachers and students she did that for, I promise to always support our educators, our students, and our administrators. And education is just one of the important services that our city provides. If you elect me to the City Council, I'll work to get all of our approved bond projects completed on time. I'll vote to ensure police and fire are always fully funded, and I'll work to improve the capacity and response times of our emergency responders. It's residents like you who fund city government, so I'll fight to make sure it offers you the best customer service in return. I love Marlborough, and I love Ward 6, but we can unlock even more of our potential if we work together. As I shoveled snow on those winter mornings, my neighbors were there to help me. Now, I'm looking to help our community thrive, and I'm counting on you again. We all want a say in how our community grows. We all want our students to get a good education. We all want our community to be safe, affordable, and family-friendly. That's all within our grasp. In fact, it's within your choice at the ballot box. My name is Albert Trey Ficillo, and I'm running for City Councilor of Ward 6, and I'm humbly asking for your vote on Tuesday, November 7th. Thank you.
Hello, thank you for your interest in our city's future. My name is Don Landers. I am running for re-election for Ward 7, seat on the City Council. I am fortunate enough to have served the Ward 7 for 16 years. I would like to tell you a little bit about myself. I taught school in Hopkinton for 6 years, Hudson for a year, before accepting the position of head of the business department in Marlborough. During my 30 years in Marlborough, I held several different positions: chairman of the business department, vice principal, which was housemaster, acting principal, administrative operations, and assistant superintendent of schools for 13 years. As assistant superintendent of schools, I had many responsibilities. I developed and managed the budget. I was in charge of purchasing and payroll. I managed the records of more than 700 employees. I was responsible for busing of more than 4,500 students daily, and I was in charge of the cafeteria that we served over 5,000 meals a day. I was also responsible for canceling school on inclement weather because that was snowy days. As I mentioned, in my role as assistant superintendent was multifaceted. I was always willing to introduce business concepts which were novel and financially sound for the city. New to the job, I inherited a $250,000 deficit. As a result, I brought in a management company to run the cafeteria operations, and we eliminated the deficit in 3 years. We kept our own employees, and the cafeteria has run in a profit since that time. One of the highlights of my profession career has been my association with the Marlborough Regional Chamber of Commerce, which I have been a member for more than 30 years and served on the board of directors for 22 years. In addition, I served as the chairperson of the board of directors for 2 years. I got involved with the chamber when I realized all that the organization does in the community, for business both large and small, and especially for the school department. While a member of the City Council for 16 years, I have served on several committees: the Urban Affairs, Finance, Public Safety, Personnel, and Rules Committee. I am currently a member of Public Services. I'm the chair, and also Urban Housing. Concerns in the ward: getting out quite a bit, meeting people at different events. The biggest concerns are is the traffic and the speeding in the streets. And working with the Department of Public Works and the Traffic Division, we're trying to solve some of those problems. So repairing and resurfacing the roads on a regular basis. We must do the utilities first, especially some of these streets. My own street is like 54 years old. Okay, and of course it's always a tax rate, and I always tell them that we must have growth to increase the revenue, because certain expenses are going to go up every year. Our local election is Tuesday, November 7th, and I am asking you to participate in this important election. Why is this important? It is important because local government officials are the ones who spend the money that has a direct and a dramatic impact on your quality of life each and every day. That is why it is so vitally important to take interest in who's running for our local government. The fact that you are watching this announcement means that you are interested, and I thank you for that. Now, I am respectfully asking you to take the next step and get out to vote on Tuesday, November 7th, and to vote to re-elect Don Landis, Councilor for Ward 7. Thank you very much.
My name is Harmony Larson, and I'm a first-time candidate for Marlborough's Ward 7 City Council seat. I'm excited to speak with you today and share some information about my background and my motivation for running. Thank you for being engaged and taking a few minutes to watch this. I chose to run because, like a lot of residents in Ward 7, I wanted a choice on Election Day. Marlborough is a diverse community, which is one of the things so many of us love about living here. I believe our elected officials should be a reflection of that diversity, and that means we need a change every once in a while. It's well known that businesses that have more gender and racial diversity among their leadership are more successful than those that do not. The same holds true for our government. Having different perspectives and life experiences at the table leads to better outcomes. The other really important motivator for me is my children. My husband and I are raising 3 boys in Marlborough. We have an 8th grader and twins in 5th grade, all attending Marlborough Public Schools. I'm running to set an example for my children and for their peers to show them how local government works. I want them to understand that not everyone agrees about what the most important issues are, never mind how to address them. I hope to inspire them to think more critically about the role they can play in shaping the future. When I was a little older than my boys, I was a volunteer with AmeriCorps' National Civilian Community Corps. This is a federal program for young adults, which has been around for 30 years now. I was assigned to a team in Colorado where I worked on projects ranging from rehabbing hiking trails, mentoring elementary school students, and digging irrigation ditches in the middle of winter with a local Parks and Recreation department. I also worked with Special Olympics athletes preparing for a swim competition. Those months as an AmeriCorps volunteer had a real impact on me. Volunteering brings people together from very different backgrounds and builds soft skills like teamwork and collaboration. It can also provide useful hands-on training. I would love to explore partnership opportunities to bring a youth volunteer program to Marlborough. I graduated from UMass Boston with a degree in English and worked for over a decade as a marketing and communications leader in the architecture and development industry. While I am not an architect or a real estate developer, I do know a lot about what makes a new development or urban renewal project successful. First and foremost, I know that proactive community engagement is key. I look forward to bringing that perspective to the council. I currently work as an internal communications advisor for a technology company, keeping employees informed and engaged. As your city councilor, I commit to being responsive and doing my best to help you navigate city services and get the information you need. I will push for transparency and improved communication to increase awareness and make our city government more accessible and easier to interact with. I am fortunate to have a part-time work schedule which leaves room for other activities, including my current role as Secretary of the Marlborough Cultural Council. I will continue to support a strong local artist community as a city councilor. Public art is a relatively low-cost but high-impact lever we can pull to make our downtown more appealing to residents, new businesses, and visitors alike. There are a lot of complex challenges facing the city of Marlborough, and lots of incredible opportunities as well. I won't make a bunch of big promises, but I will tell you that I'll bring new energy and a new perspective to this role. I will be open-minded and I'll be curious. There's so much we can learn from other communities that have tackled similar challenges, such as bringing new life to our downtown. While I'm fully committed to ensuring that our taxpayer dollars are invested wisely, I also believe we need to get creative and try some new things if we truly want to evolve. Thank you for your time and for the opportunity to serve. I'd be grateful for your support and honored to be elected as Ward 7's next city councilor on November 7th.
Hello, my name is Catherine Hennessy, and thank you so much for your support over my last 4 terms. I have spent the last 16 years as a voice for the children, parents, district, and the community of Marlborough on the school committee. I've been married to my husband just shy of 30 years, and we have 3 wonderful children. All 3 are graduates of Marlborough High School and matriculated through our district from kindergarten on up. My son recently graduated from the Schreier's Honor College at Penn State with a double major in poli-sci and philosophy and is currently working in Senator Jamie Eldridge's office. One of my daughters is a senior at UMass Lowell studying mechanical engineering, is a member of the women's soccer team, and president of the Student Athlete Academic Council. My youngest daughter is a freshman attending Wagner University in New York City, studying health sciences and playing field hockey for the school. We are not originally from Marlborough, but have called this our home since 1996. And I am pleased to be a part of this wonderful, diverse community. I run my own photography production business, and I umpire field hockey and softball, in addition to the community service work through the Marlborough Junior Women's Club and CSF organization, as well as assisting in work through my church. Additionally, I represent Marlborough and the state Massachusetts School Committee Association through work with the MIAA on several of their committees. All 4 of my previous terms have presented quite a lot of challenges, but challenges that I gladly accepted, knowing that being a member of the school committee would not be easy, but it was a role that I was happy to undertake on behalf of our children. I was part of the redistricting that was necessary to support the opening of our new elementary school, Goodnow Brothers, and we have begun the process to hopefully secure SBA funding to support another new and/or renovation for the Richer Elementary School. This is a long and arduous process that we must execute, as it will offer improvements within our district, yet will also pose some challenges, as no major change comes without some issues. Our district has seen a lot of growth over the last few years, and I will continue to be an advocate for Marlborough and all of the students and staff. We strive to be an inclusive and equitable district, supporting all students in achieving great things. Marlborough is a multilingual system. We support the social and emotional needs of our students. We are committed to improving our student achievement while expanding our understanding of the impact of bias and racism in our classrooms, schools, and our whole district. Our multi-tiered system of support, as well as restorative practices used throughout the district, provide a consistent foundation and systemic approach to address the needs for all of our students. I pride myself on the abundance of collaboration I have witnessed over the years from our amazing administration and staff, knowing all of the amazing things that we try to offer our student body for the success of each and every person here in Marlborough. I have spent a lot of time, heart and soul, invested and believing in a bright future for our district. I look forward to continuing to support the challenging education of every child, providing opportunities for constant improvement and encouraging a full journey for all. We are a district that wants to educate the whole child, and I love that. I will continue to ask questions because sometimes we learn more through questions than we do through the answers. I look forward to continuing to work with you, the district, the staff, the administration, and the community to pursue and achieve the short-term and long-term goals of making Marlborough a leader in 21st century education. I thank you for your support in my role on the school committee, and I respectfully ask for your vote in November so I may continue to be your voice on behalf of our children here in Marlborough. Thank you for your time and consideration.